Hi there, it's Kevin again from the Figure Owners Club. Great to be with you today, and I'm going to be talking about how to change the instrument lights on the Figaro. Now, we probably know if you've had your car a little while and you've been out at night in the car, or you use it in the evening or at night, then obviously the lighting on the car is fairly poor, unless it's had this modification done to it, which involves fitting these little LED lights instead of the existing bulbs that were fitted to the car when it was first manufactured. Now the process involved here is removing the existing lights in the two gauges. You've got two in one gauge and four in the other, so 6 lights altogether. It will make up quite a bit of difference to the lighting that's coming from the instruments. Fairly poor when the car was first produced, really, in today's terms. I mean, the lighting on today's gauges are fantastic. We're not going to get to that level, but it will certainly be better than it was. One thing also to point out is that what tends to happen over time, the existing bulbs tends to blacken. I don't know if you can see that on the video here, and that's caused by tungsten within the bulb fusing inside the glass and making it blacker and blacker over time. So the more that the lamp was actually on, the bulb's actually on, the darker the actual bulb gets over time. As we know, these cars are pretty old depending on when you're viewing this video, so chances are these existing bulbs on your instruments will be very black, which obviously doesn't help the cause at all. So this is a little video. It's going to take you through the process involved. It's a little bit fiddly. One gauge is really easy, which is the first one, which we'll start on. The second gauge is a little bit more complex because you've got the cable running for the Speedo, which has to be disconnected, so that's a little bit more fiddly. But I'm going to take you through step by step what you need to do, and there's also going to be a link on this website page that we'll produce with this video on it, which takes you to where to buy the lamps from. You can sort of get them through eBay and various things. I mean, if you just Google them, they'll come up, but obviously they can come from China, which does take quite a long time, or there's more sort of European-based distributors, which tends to be a bit quicker but a little bit more expensive. So, and also the Figaro shop have also got a link to their lamps, which are a little bit more expensive as well. But obviously Toby's probably got them in stock, so you don't have to wait too long. But anyway, so we'll crack on with it and take you through stage one, if you like, part one of the video. Okay, so stage one is to remove this rim, and the rim then exposes the screws inside the gauge. Before you do that though, just put a little duster on top here, because once we've got this out, we're going to be putting that onto here, and if you don't do that, it's going to put some nasty scratches on that. So to do that, I've got this little tiny removal tool here, but you could just use a screwdriver, and all you need to do is just push it under this rim here, and there she goes. Now you'll find it's got 3 little tabs on it, depending on where the tabs are. It's a little bit more like removing a tyre, so you need to run it all the way around, and it will just unclip and take and come all the way out. So there she goes, she's coming out, done. Whilst these are off, it's probably a good idea to give them a really nice clean as well, because obviously you can get into parts of it that you can't do when it's on the car. So now we've got that off, you can see that you've got basically 3 screws. There's one there, and one at the bottom here. So we just need to take these 3 off, and then the gauge will come out. Actually, a really handy tool, which is a few quid on the internet, is this little magnetic telescopic tool that I've got here with a little magnet on the end. It allows you to sort of go in and pick out the screws. Really great when you're working obviously with screws that you can't always get access to. So all 3 screws out now. Just simply withdraw it very carefully and tip it down like that, and you can see the 2 of the bulbs are exposed. You've got one here and you've got one there, and to get to them you simply turn them. There we go, straight out. Really simple. That's one, and then on the other one again, little turn. That's it. So I'm doing this live. Oh, you can see that's pretty black, that one. You can see how black that is. So that's that. And now to install them, grab one here, There we go. Now there is a certain way these need to go around, positive and negative. It's trial and error actually, because you've got a positive on the board and a negative on the board, printed circuit board, and that's the same here, but it's very, very difficult to know which way around they go. So it's just a case of popping them in and then putting the lights on and then turning them on and seeing if they've done anything. So just drop that in, and then you just need, I'm going to need a little screwdriver just to turn that, which I can't actually do holding the camera at the same time, but very, very simple to do. So I'm just going to pop them in, turn that, and see if the lights work. Looking good. So one thing I've decided to do is to actually take the gauge out of the car, because we need to get access to the other gauge, and that's going to be through here. So we're going to do that next. So to do that, you've basically got two connections, one here and one there, and you simply little screwdriver in there, pull that off. There we go, really, really simple. That one's off, and then the same with the other one. I can't do it whilst I'm holding it, but so you can see that you just need to take the foam off and pull the connector off, and then you can get completely remove the gauge, and then you can get access to this side as well, which is going to be better. Okay, so I've put those two bulbs in very, very simply, the little LEDs, and I'm just going to check them, see if they work. So I'll put the ignition on, have a look. Yep, we can see we have light, so that's working, that's fine, that's good. As I said, what we're going to do now is we're going to take this out, and that'll give us access to the other gauge. So just remove the rim for the second gauge. One good thing about this is there's a little tiny fly in this gauge here, which has annoyed me. It's been here for a long, long time, and by taking this out, you can actually, by taking these 3 screws off here, you can actually remove the glass very, very carefully, and just remove any bits of fly or something that you might have actually in your gauge. So that's quite useful. So we're going to unscrew this now, and then I'm going to go on to what you need to do to remove the Speedo cable. Okay, so I've got my little endoscope out here. It's a little video thing which I've been dying to use. I'll be honest with you, I probably only used it once since I bought it from the NEC car club show a couple of years ago. But it is quite good when you're kind of looking to see what's got to be done, and this is the item here that you've got to kind of turn. That's your Speedo cable here going into the back of the gauge, and it kind of turns, and then it unclips. There's a little plastic ferrule there which is just around it, and you have to turn that and unclip it. So I think you can see that little piece there that you've got to turn. So probably not very clear in the video here, but I don't think you need an endoscope to do it, but I've been dying to use it, and it's really good. Right, okay, well I have a go at doing this, so hopefully I'll be able to tell you how to do it. Okay, so I managed to do it. That's the collar of the Speedo there, which obviously this is the bit I'm talking about. Basically you've got here little tiny clips on the edge. Hard to see here, but there's one basically here which you have to release. Here we go, see it? That. So once that's released, you need to pull that up. So you can get to it, actually get to it from this side with your finger. And what I did is I managed to get my thumb into it and pull it up, and then once it's up, it releases the unit, and then it will pull out. Now getting it out of here actually was a bit tough as well, because it's actually slightly bigger than the cutout, believe it or not. So a little bit fiddly, you have to wiggle it around a bit, but it actually does come out. And then you can see we've now got the 4 lights here which need changing. So nice and easy, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take the take the glass off the front as well, and there's a really annoying little fly in there which I'm going to try and get out at the same time. So once you've removed the clasp at the back there, and we've got that on the other video that I've just shown you, what you need to do is tip this forward. It is a bit a case of trial and error, but this actually goes forward. It's the only way of doing it, so you have to tip it forward, and then as you tip it forward it'll actually come in. It looks like there's no room for it to come out, but it will actually come out, but you need to tip it forward, and it'll come out, and there we go. And then that's the thing we're talking about, which we've just spoken about a minute ago. So that's that out now, and we're just going to do the bulbs on this one as well, and have a look at the removing this glass front as well. So the second gauge is out now, Speedo, and we've got 4 in here. There's one here I've just put in, got another one there, we've got one there, and we've got one here, which is a little bit more difficult because it's got these cables here. So as I said, it's a case of popping these in and giving them a turn, and then just checking it whilst it's out. Obviously be careful you don't touch any of the back of it, and making sure the lights work, and make sure they're around the right orientation, because you can actually get these around the wrong way. This is obviously where the Speedo connects to. We talked about that before, so that's in there, you see. That's the bit you have to undo, a little bit more fiddly. So not too complicated really, not too difficult. So I'm just going to quickly check this while we're videoing, just to see what's going on. Oh, there we go. So you can see that one's good, that one's good, that one's not so good, and that one's not so good, because we've got no lights coming from those two. So I'm going to swap those around, just take them out, turn them around the other way 180 degrees, pop them back in again, and they should work. So we'll see. So have another go. There we go, and that's actually the beam light there. So you can see I'm putting the beam on, it's coming on. So you got 1, 2, we've got 3, 4 good lights. That's all good to go. So next stage is going to take this panel out, this gauge out, and just see if I can get that little fly out, which has been annoying me. So I'll remove the 3 screws, and yeah, that's our little critter in there. So I'm just going to take that out and put the glass back on again. Really good to do this whilst you can. Okay, so this is a little Speedo cable here, and you can see the little connector here. You need to undo this, because once this is on the car, pushed back into the gauge, then this goes back over there and clips in like that. So you need to make sure this is off. So when you're undoing it, your hand needs to come in here, and with your fingernails you need to get your fingernail under here and push that up, and then once that's out, then the gauge will come out. This actually retains, if you look at the back of here, you see there's a little slot here. That's what that clips to. The back of that collar is where this collar here fits to. So this slides in and clips to that, and basically it stops the cable pushing away, and obviously not connecting to the Speedo, which wouldn't be good. So we're going to put it back together again now, putting it back in, and it's the reverse of what it was. So gauge in here, and then basically flipping it that way. Okay, so that seemed to go in quite well, just doing the 3 screws up, really nice. Pop the next one in. So I've cleaned the rim, given it a bit of a polish, and putting it back on. Obviously it's a case of picking up the 3 tabs here and lining them up with the tabs on the dial here on the gauge. So it's just a case of spinning it around until it kind of like all lines up. So it looks good, and then you just push it in. Oh, I haven't got it right there. So, yeah, there we go. Push it in like that. Job's a good one. Beautiful. So nice and easy. The proof is in the pudding tonight when I'll be coming out around 6 o'clock and seeing just how bright these lights are. So I'll report back then. Cheers. Hi there. So we finished the project now. It's dark outside and I'm going to just see how good these lights are. So in my garage, just going to have to switch the lights off and just have to trust me because it's very dark. So going into the car now. Shutting the door. Wow, fantastic. Really, really clear. So much brighter than before. So it's a really, really good project, and as I said previously on the video, it's not too difficult to do. So I'm just going to finish off taking you through the options on the bulbs, because they're a little bit of solutions as to where you can get these from. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through the three types of LEDs that I've managed to get off the internet. What you're looking for is what they call a T5 Neo Wedge LED, and the T stands for tubular because the original bulb was tubular, and the 5 stands for 5/8, so it's an American inch type size. And you're looking for an LED type, a T5 Neo Wedge. 5050 SMD is what I've managed to Google before, but this is what they look like. And they're all 12mm base and working voltage of 12 volts. And that's a stubby one. So this is one that you put in with a screwdriver. You can see there's a little slot in the back there. This one here is got no slot in the back. You can actually hold this, push it in and turn it. And the ones from the Figaro shop, they're different as well. So what you get there, you get the LED on the front here on a printed circuit board strip. And what happens is when you take the bulbs out, you just need to remove the bulb from the socket, which looks like that. And then you need to take the printed circuit board, and all you need to do is where the bulb come out of, you just push it in. That's it. So that ends up with Toby's solution. As I said, a really, really good little modification to the car. Not a lot of money. I know the Figaro shop are charging 12 quid at the moment. 2017 we're looking at this, so that link will be on the website as well. It's probably a good solution, to be honest, because I found obviously when you Google these lamps, sometimes you have to buy a lot of them. Sometimes they'll be one off at like 3 or 4 quid, which is crazy. So possibly the Figaro shop's a good solution, but you, as I said, try and Google them if you're in a different country. You might be able to find them. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Another one of our little tutorials from the Figaro Owners Club, and I think this one's going to be really useful for lots of people and help them out in using their Figaros in the evening in the dark. Okay, I'll see you soon. Cheers. See you on the next one. Bye.